Hello guys, Tops here. Today I want to show you how I built a Battleforge tank. And you want to aim for a brother that has extremely high melee defense, like this guy, 41, and fairly high fatigue, HP and resolve. So you can make him out of a lowborn background, like farmhands, thieves potentially, but thieves are better for nimble. I usually take a hedge knight who low rolled on melee skill to make him a Battleforge tank, because a hedge knight has always high fatigue, high hit points and high resolve, most of the time high melee defense. So it's very easy to use a low rolled hedge knight for a Battleforge tank, so you don't waste any potential. The Battleforge tank is a necessary build in my opinion. It really helps you in a lot of legendary locations and can make your run fairly easy in a lot of situations. Note, he's not a damage dealer, he's a tank, so he doesn't do damage at all. So you can give him a sword for bonus hit chance, or a spear for even more bonus hit chance. You can give him a dagger. You can give him no weapons and just backpack a bunch of legendary shield. I give him the Living Tree shield, which regenerates itself. You can do it out of shroud stuff. And it has plus 20 melee defense, which is pretty high. You can see I have 66 melee defense. That's insane. For perks, we go complete defensive on this guy. So, Colossus, of course, for more hit points. I went for Pathfinder because as a Battleforge tanks, it's critical that you get in the position to lock down opponents and get them into combat. So moving 4 tiles instead of 3, it's mandatory in my opinion. I went for Steel Brow and Fortified Mind for increased defensiveness. Recover necessary because you will need a lot of fatigue. Shield Expert because I will use basically shield wall most of the time, and reducing the fatigue to that is very powerful, and it also increases the defensive stats of the shield. Underdog because we will get surrounded, which is fine. Battleforged because that's the whole idea, and Indomitable, which gives us a flat 50% damage reduction and immunity to basically be removed from our position, which is absolutely mandatory for tank builds, especially for this hyper tank that we built here. So we want to spam Indomitable shield wall, and because of that we're gonna fatigue out extremely quickly, so we need recover. And Lone Wolf is also mandatory because a lot of the time in big fights, all the opponents that are over the normal spawn, they all spawn on the left side of your company. So your left side of the company, this side here, will have all the access enemy, and all these guys will come here. So what you do is you basically take your Battleforge tank, move him 4 tiles out like this, and he's gonna engage all the enemies, and he can hold sometimes half the troops that are coming to you while your team is dealing with the rest. And he's gonna be fine because, again, we went completely defensive on him. And he's gonna hold his position until his team comes to rescue him. That's what we need him for, and that's how we built him for. In terms of roles, you take melee defense every time, and you want to have somebody who has 3 stars in melee defense, so you get to a very high point of melee defense. And then we're gonna take high rolls in hit points, fatigue and resolve. And we wanna level these 3 stats with the rest of our rolls. We don't care about melee skill and everything else. We want resolve, fatigue, HP as much as possible. And again, melee defense as much as possible. So, yes. And if you do it right, this guy doesn't die, basically, under no circumstances. If you have a really good one, and even in hard fights, you can backpack shields and swap them. So quick hands is also an option if you wanna lose a defensive perk. 9 lives is also an option if you really want it. Also gifted is an option. So he's a little bit flexible in terms of perks, but this is how I built him. And mandatory perks are Battleforge, Lone Wolf, Underdog, Indom, and Recover. Everything else is debatable, and you can swap Steel Brow for Gifted or 9 lives, whatever you want to do. Student is basically a free perk, so every time you can take it, you should take it. Yeah, that's how I built my Battleforge tank. Can highly recommend. And if you build him right, he can basically win you most fights by himself, because he's gonna take a lot of enemies on himself and block them, so to say, so your whole company can kill the rest and go and flank them. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. I'm gonna see you in the next video and in the comments. Like, comment and subscribe, and have a nice day. Bye bye.